Three women got together on Zoom. What did these three women hear or see in a recording that had them reacting like this? Find out in episode 30 of The Medium's Table.
The fuck is that?
I am like, my brain is just. Holy shit.
Just wanted you both because I literally went, what the fuck?
Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to The Medium's Table. I'm your host, Michelle Gardner. This podcast is your personal invitation to join me at the intersection of the everyday and the extraordinary. Together, we'll explore the magic of mediumship, share spiritual stories, and connect with fellow mediums on this incredible journey. So grab a seat, pour yourself a cuppa, and come join us at the Medium's Table, where spirits gather and stories unfold. I'd like to welcome back to the show amazing mediums, and Julie is a paranormal investigator as well, among many other things, as is Dawn, is an author. Oh, look, you know what? I could have a list, but let's not go there right now.
Yeah, can we leave the CVs to the side for the time being? Get on with this. I'm so excited.
Exactly. Let's get into it. So we're back again in this episode to talk about another phenomena that has happened when we've got together. But before we move on to that, we had something happen last Friday. So we got together on Zoom. We were going over, this was on Friday, and the episode 29, if you haven't seen it, which is now released, shows a phenomena that keeps happening around Julie. So we were on Zoom. We were going over some last minute finer details about the podcast, you know, what was going to happen, anything we needed to change, having a discussion. It was a quick Zoom, half an hour. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, of course, we weren't recording, and this phenomena, portal,
globe,
something, wormhole, opens up beside Julie again, identical to what you saw. Or if you haven't seen it, I strongly advise you to go back and watch episode 29, the previous episode, identical to what happens in that episode. And I would watch the video because it's quite wow. I think I screamed, and because
loudly,
as I do, I get a little excited, and I went through this moment of confusion in my head. Hang on, are we rewatching some of the podcast recording? You know, as we and I'm sort of going through that. And I'm like, oh my God, no, this is happening in real time, and I just started screaming. To get everyone's attention. I don't know, everyone across the world and in the neighborhood. And Julie laughed.
And they heard.
Julie just laughed, as she does.
She does.
And Dawn,
I squealed. It was very exciting. And I went through the same kind of confusion. Like, wait, am I there? Am I here? Where am I? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
I think
and
I was
also when we were discussing aliens.
Yes, Dawn was the cool one. Yep, again, as she is, calm and collected. And we were discussing, once again, the same topic. Each time they appear, we were discussing aliens, different, what were they, like organizations? We were talking about networking.
Steady.
Yeah.
Steady.
Yeah, it was steady, wasn't it? Yeah, and how we can get somebody with, God, any knowledge of what they think this could be.
Yeah,
to have a look at this, whatever it is, and give their opinion, because we're clueless about this, because you know we're just three women across the world. This thing keeps on, appearing, and I have to say, it appeared where Julie is sat now, which is a different positioning from where she was sat before. In a different part of the room. So. God, I don't know. It defies explanation.
Yeah, and it was also
would be nice to get different perspective.
And it was also nighttime as well, wasn't it, Julie? Where normally
it was nighttime. Yes.
It's been appearing during the day. So we can't say it's a reflection because that just doesn't wash now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, amazing to capture it. When you see it with you, and it's so quick, and you just like, and I don't know, I just go into automatic scream mode. So,
and that's what distracts me. That's how I stay calm, because I'm looking at her going, "Oh God, you absolute drama queen," and then my eyes are taken to what she's actually screaming about. It's just crazy. It's the only word to describe this thing. I've shown it to people in my life, like people who are absolute skeptics over everything I do, and I go, "Oh, just have a look at this for me," and they go, what
yeah,
there's no God, I mean, there's no logical explanation for what we are seeing, or in fact, what is it we are seeing?
Yeah.
No idea.
Absolutely. So episode 29, guys, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. Previous episode to this one. Now, today, we're going to be listening to a piece of audio where, now, who knows the story behind this? Because I know we recorded it, but we didn't look at it for a little while. What happened with that?
As usual, I took the lead on this. No, so actually what happened was, when we saw the phenomena that we've just explained on video, like a live video call, the first time it was my suggestion to then start recording each call. And we caught it on camera, recording a few times. And then I looked back in my Zoom history of recordings that we'd had. It was August, wasn't it? Or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And there was a few recordings there. And I thought, you know what? I'd had experience of going to somebody who does like, what's that thing called, Julie? EVP thingies or something like that.
Electronic voice phenomenon.
Very technically explained by myself. EVP thingies, where they say that recordings can be taken and you may not hear anything in the room, but when you go back and hear it again, you've actually caught stuff on video or voice recording, whatever. So I thought, I'll just scoot through it as quickly as I can. But the captions were on it, the closed captions. Scooting through it, very boring, because I think we were in meditation, weren't we?
Yeah, transblending. Yeah.
So, it was just me watching us three with our eyes closed. So that's why I put it on fast forward, double the speed. And then in the middle of us all with our eyes closed, nobody saying anything, come the words. Shall I say the words?
Yeah, do it.
Come the words on closed captions, we're learning. It was not Julie's voice. It was not my voice, and it was not Michelle's voice. It was a voice that I don't know where it came from, but Julie, you were sat there at the time and you actually heard something, didn't you?
Yeah. So it's interesting because we had been kind of preoccupied with the light that we've been seeing and hadn't been getting a lot of work done, right? Like we hadn't actually sat for trance, even though we were meeting, because we would get so excited about things we were talking about. And so we had decided to meet again, like the next day, and just sit for trance, but this time invite them to communicate whatever this phenomenon was, right? And we sat down to trance, and you can see when you see the video, we're just quiet. And in the room, I heard, like right next to me to my right, I heard someone's like breathing, like that, just like that. Not a lot. And that's what made me respond. Now, when I'm trancing, I frequently hear footsteps or like slight knocks, or I smell things. But that was enough for me to open my eyes because I really felt like someone was there. And I remember thinking, should I interrupt everybody? And I'm like, no, that would be like so counterproductive, right? And so then I go into trance. And after that, I believe we all did trance speaking. And at the end of it, we're like, at least I was just like so elevated, I completely forgot about hearing the breath. Totally forgot about it. Went on our way. Weeks later, Dawn's like looking through the videos, and then she like suddenly sent out a call to us like, everybody get on Zoom. I'm like, what? Why? What?
Yeah, it was crazy, wasn't it? I mean, God, I think I was, I was obviously working from home and everything, but obviously not getting a lot of work done. But just going through that video and seeing it, it was, my God, it's just so clear and loud and undeniable.
Yeah.
But not a human voice.
No. And to the point where the closed captions picked it up.
And that's incredible. I mean, that's just like a gift.
Yeah, isn't it? Isn't it? That was the icing on the cake. Should we have a look at it? Let's do a little screen share and have a look at it. All right.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so here we are. Here I'm just going to play the video, and it's a very short, it's only 23 seconds. But you'll see here we've all got our eyes closed. We're all just blending, going into sort of like a meditation state.
Crazy. I mean, that is so loud, isn't it? But yet neither me or Michelle heard it.
Yeah.
Well, and all I heard was a breath. Like it would be as if someone had walked in and wanted to interrupt me and was just like,
yeah. And you open your eyes a little bit like,
yeah,
what the heck?
What was that? Yeah.
So it's kind of like, would you say that the whatever it is, being entity, I don't know what to call it, is using the technology as an EVP, and what do they call it? Electro voice thingy bob?
Phenomena.
Yeah, voice phenomena. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And to capture it on Zoom is incredible.
It definitely is intelligent. I mean, the first thing that's present is we connected to our prior experience, the light that we saw. We invited it to show up. Of course, we were going into trance, so we wouldn't have seen it. And it showed up in an unexpected way using the technology. I had an experience, though, in the room, right? And that's exactly how things happen when you're working with spirits. Is you'll frequently have an experience in the room, and then when you go back, it matches up. It might have been a knock that you heard, but then there's words. But the words that we hear, how simple they are perfectly intelligent, right?
Yeah.
Like right on track with, oh, look, we're learning and we're going to use something new. And we weren't even in trance yet.
Yeah. And that's the incredible part about it. And even with the other, like the portal that keeps showing up, we're not in trance when that happens either. We're in regular conversation.
And again,
and normally quite, stupid conversations where we're, we're just relaxed and having a laugh, and it's not even as if we're kind of going, oh, come and connect with us. It's nothing like that, is it? It's just a normal conversation about, whatever's happened that day.
There's still deliberateness about it. It's very clearly pops in, wobbles, does its thing, and goes away. And while the conversation is the same. It's not. It doesn't do that when we're talking about any other stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's topical.
absolutely. It's a deliberate nature to it, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's incredible how the voice was actually quite relevant to what we were doing as well. Do you know what I mean? Do we want to listen to it one more time?
Yeah, go for it. I still can't believe it.
Yeah.
But I guess, if you're trying to communicate, if you're from, I don't know, either the other side or, God, dare I say, alien natured, would you not use whatever is at your disposal?
Yeah. So listen here.
Mm.
It's going to come up. And Julie gives the head shake and she just goes back to what she was doing like nothing ever happened.
So can I ask, because I think I do know the answer to this.
Yeah.
So this clip that we've got there,
yeah.
Did you mute the sound pre the voice and after the voice?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, because I had to turn the audio up quite loud to make it very clear for the listeners. So so there's not a whole bunch of staticky sound. I've cut that.
Yeah.
There was no noise. It was just silence, like that static, loud static. But as you can see here, for what time of the day is it for you there, Dawn? You're in England.
God, I can't even remember what month it was. Was it August? So that would have been 7 p.m. So our summertime. So it would have been quite light out. It doesn't usually in August get dark until about 9 o'clock-ish. So, yeah, about 7 p.m.
Yeah. And for me, it would have been, I'm going to say about probably maybe 4 in the morning because it's dark and I'm wearing, and winter here because I'm wearing obviously a warm jumper. And for Julie, what time of the day is it for you there?
It's like 2 in the afternoon.
Right. And who's normally home at that time of the day? Is there anyone at home?
So for me, sorry, Julie,
I think probably my husband was home, but he was sleeping because he works third shift. And my daughter may have been home, but I'm not sure.
Right. And you're upstairs. You're upstairs. Yeah. Yep.
I'm upstairs, and it's quiet.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? So when we go into blending, for those who are listening, if anybody's into meditation, you know that you learn to sit with noises going on around you, because otherwise it can be quite distracting if you're focusing on the noises. So you actually learn to ignore the noises and get used to them, don't you? That's kind of how we do. So I know for me, my house is busy. I've got a dog who sits outside that door there and he's tapping on the floor all the time. And, son-in-law upstairs, with his computer chair wheeling. But Julie's house is always quiet.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Apart from this phenomena, which is happening quite regularly.
And maybe, Julie, you should just record randomly, continuously. You never know what sort of noises are going on in your house that you're not aware of. There could be full conversations getting recorded, but you'll never know now.
I mean, it's just undescribable how we keep on catching it. That's what's, it's so exciting because, I've like listened to stories from my parents. My dad apparently saw a UFO, I'm talking in the late 60s here. And you kind of go, okay, as you normally would. We scoff at stuff like this, but I don't know.
It's becoming more, I want to say common now, continuous. I think 2 days ago in my area, and again, I'm in a different country, there was someone put up on our local Facebook page that there was a sighting of lights in the sky that shot off, 4 lights together It's just a shame they don't capture it on video. But you're not quick enough. By the time you see it, to then get your phone out, do you know what I mean? It's just so quick. Like when we see the phenomena around Julie, it's so quick that if we were to try and grab our phone, open it up, get the camera ready, it would be gone. It's too quick.
I mean, it lasts for what, maybe a second and a half? Would you say?
Yeah.
2 seconds?
Yeah.
And as you say, by the time we see it, we are gasping. It's like,
yeah, I'm screaming.
And then it's collapsing in on itself. But you're screaming.
It's like a reaction. I just don't know what to do, so I just scream.
It worked, right?
Well, I don't know. It didn't, because I didn't see it until the very last second, because I focused on her and then was like, oh my God, that's what she's screaming at.
Yeah. I think your husband heard me downstairs, didn't he, Julie, at your house?
Yes. I had texted him and I said, oh, it happened again. And he goes, I know, I heard you squeal. And then when I went down after our meeting, it's like, I heard Michelle. The scream heard round the world. It's like you guys were all excited.
Well, I was calm. I was like James Bond, I've got to say.
I know. She lit up a cigarette afterwards, like, what?
Exactly. No, I don't smoke actually, but yeah. No, it's great that it's happening, but that leads me to the question: why is it only happening in Julie's house?
I know. That's the $1 million question. Why?
I think
also
for me,
asked.
Go on, sorry, Julie.
I also asked my husband if anything happened downstairs, because I know other times that I've had events or encounters in different places. Sometimes someone in a different part of the house sees something different at the same time, like, or the same night, So I was wondering, like, did you hear anything? Like, just Michelle screaming? Did you see anything? Yeah.
So, God, I have to say, we always talk about what you put out to the universe is heard, don't we?
Yes.
And what they're hearing from me, which is why I know I'm not seeing anything in my house, is don't frigging come near me, because it scares the life out of me. As I'm walking upstairs, I sense. So I know if they came to me here, I'd probably have a coronary or something. So, but I'm quite okay with it happening in Julie's house, for her
to happen to her over there.
For her to stick her head in it and take a trip somewhere. I'm quite happy observing that and being as calm and collected as I possibly can be in English.
Yeah. Or hearing voices talking from nowhere in her house.
But not in mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just saying it, not in mine.
Yeah. But in Julie's house, that's fine.
It's so good. It's so good, honestly.
So, Julie, do you regularly, any other time, have you ever heard or picked up anything in your house, or any speaking or unusual noises that could not be one of your family members, or the house moving or creaking or?
I've never heard actually anyone breathe, right? So even investigating haunted places, I really haven't heard that. I know other people who've heard it. In this house, I haven't heard voices, no.
So what about in the time that you've done ghost hunting, have you ever picked up something so clear in one of those EVP machines?
I don't think like that. No, I don't think so at all. No,
wow.
I have. Usually it's on, well, you can record on your iPhone and get some things, but you have to like slow things down or speed them up. You certainly hear there's something there, but you have to usually dig a little bit. Usually it's not just clear. I have investigating heard things speaking outside, where no one's speaking, but you hear it. We had a radio play in one part of the house and no one was there, and there's no radio in the house. Like, and when we were investigating at a mansion in New Jersey. Yeah.
Ooh,
there's no
wow.
radio. And it was like an old time radio, like from the 30s, the kind with there's a different sound to it.
Yeah, yeah.
More tinny, isn't it? But I'm not going to New Jersey. Just say,
yeah.
not going there.
So I've heard those things for sure. But yeah,
I've heard voices with my ears, and I've heard children laughing in a room full of people, and we've all heard the same thing.
Yes.
So I've heard quite a lot of phenomena, spirit phenomena.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that is spirit.
You don't think it's spirit?
I don't.
What's your take on that?
Well, after what's been happening with this globe sphere portal wormhole thing we're seeing, I would say, I mean, I've got no words to describe it, so that's why I'm giving it a general term. I would have to say it's again, God, I used the word last time, didn't I? Not of this world, I don't think.
Interesting.
Because the reason that I say that is it says we're learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been working with spirit, well, in a knowing capacity for 30 years, but obviously it's all my life, same as you, same as Julie. So we know spirit, and they are working with us constantly. Our spirit teams are working with us constantly. They don't need to learn anything from us.
Exactly. Yes.
They are the intelligence. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Wow. What's your thoughts on it, Julie? What do you think it is?
I have to agree, especially because we set the intention to, invite that whoever's responsible for that experience, right?
Yeah.
And they answered. and we missed it.
Yeah. And it wasn't until weeks or months later that we finally went, months. Look. Yeah.
It was months. I think it was
the fall.
December.
Yeah, I want to say December. Yeah.
December.
That we got that panicked FaceTime call of get on Zoom.
Yeah, that was just
a lot
awesome.
more demure than that, I have to say. I'm a very
it was nothing demure.
It wasn't. It was hysterical. It was like, what the actual? No way. This is incredible. Get on Zoom. And I didn't care that it was possibly, 12 hours ahead for Michelle and 5.
But we had also finished a call and recently, like just a little bit before that. And so it was kind of like, I felt like it's like my neighbor calling, like, I forgot to tell you, or here's the latest gossip. I'm like, what is happening now?
Yeah.
We were just on the phone.
That's right. You are right. We had just finished a session of meditation.
Yeah. And I think you were having dinner, weren't you, Julie? You jumped on and you're still
I'm still eating.
Yeah, she was.
It was dinner and a show, but anyway.
What the heck is Dawn? What now?
I know. It's always Dawn, dramatic as ever. So what's your take on it, Michelle?
Yeah, look, I really don't know. It's some kind of intelligence is I think all I can say is but then like you say, is it? Because it says we're learning. So I don't know. Is it dimensional?
Yeah.
I really don't know. So I guess any paranormal investigators out there who may have heard this sort of thing before or are familiar with this, because I've never done any ghost hunting. Julie's the only one who does ghost hunting. Dawn runs in the other direction, so that's never going to happen.
Absolutely.
So
they hunt me. I am not hunting them.
There you go. They find Julie. So,
They do.
know,
They do.
yeah. So if anyone's got any, is expertise in this field, we would love to hear from you because, again, we're having this phenomena happen that's so random. I want to say random, but I don't think it is. I think it's
No, I think it's very deliberate, as Julie said.
yeah.
But it's just so not within the realm of our normal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yet.
And then what's the next step? I mean, we thought
into it. That's what
we thought the next step was inviting it to show up, which it did the voice thing. But then since then it's appeared again.
Yeah.
So it just makes me wonder. So from there, what's their plan?
Yeah. Well, I guess it's going to be a stay tuned because obviously we're going to bring it to the podcast and broadcast it and hopefully capture it
when Julie goes through it.
Yeah, we'll have all that recorded. Yeah, this will be like when man first walked on the moon. So
imagine it.
One giant leap for mankind.
Missing from Zoom, one middle-aged woman. Abducted on camera.
You still have milk cartons over there?
Milk carton, yeah.
Julie, that's hysterical. But God, we never know, do we? I mean,
no.
Yeah.
Could be a shortcut to Australia, Julie.
Oh. What if you turned up in my house? What the hell are you doing here? I just saw you disappear. Wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? Exactly. Imagine the money you'd save. So,
God, yeah. You've got no visa though, so you'll have to go back.
Well, she'd have to wait till it turns up again. What if it's a one-way ticket?
Right. And right now, that might be okay with me.
Lay low for a while. I'm just going to slip through the portal. So
the whole thing is just unexplainable.
Yeah, it is.
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
Unexplainable.
100%. I agree.
No answers. So, God, yeah, anybody, please get in touch.
Yeah.
Words are just failing us, aren't they?
Yeah. And it'd be nice to hear from someone who may have an idea or may know, or if they're even able to take a look at the audio, listen to it, and even the videos that we have, if there's, investigators out there who this is their field of expertise with the portal wormhole, I don't know, glowy thing that happens next to Julie.
Well, but that's the thing that makes me think, if it's happening to me, it's happened to somebody else or will, right?
Must have.
Right?
Maybe. Well, if you don't see it with the naked eye, do you know what I mean? Then it may be happening, but people aren't aware of it because realistically, you're seeing it while you're on Zoom.
Yeah, I see it in my camera.
Exactly. So, and it could be happening continuously in your everyday life, but you're not turning around all the time to actually see it. So
it's comforting.
No, you saying that. I mean,
you're welcome.
Have we all not experienced when we do think lights changed in a room or something?
Yeah.
But you just ignore it because it's so normal to have light changes. I mean, you look at the light in this room here. So I've got a light on up there. I'm sat by a window and I've got curtains closed apart from a shaft of light. So this is quite a steady, constant light. There's no traffic outside because there's no road outside. It's just grass and other houses. So this is a constant light. But yet if the light changed, like if somebody walks past that door, you see a light change, don't you? So that's a natural change. But Julie, weren't you saying that you kind of like saw a light change?
Yes. And I really can't put my finger on it because it's only happened, that I'm aware of 3 times. The first time it happened, I had no awareness at all, like didn't see it. But I feel like it's like a flash, like an old camera. kind of.
Mm.
And I've had that occur during investigations very fast, but certainly not the same thing and not the same kind of light. So.
And do you know what? You saying like an old camera. Do you remember the old flashes that you used to get? And they were kind of like mercurially coloured.
Yes.
And then once you use the flash, it would burn out.
Yes.
Actually, it's a similar colour.
It does look like that. It does look like.
Yeah. So episode 29, guys, you'll have to go back the previous episode to this one and have a look at the footage and let us know what you think and see it for yourself, because it's pretty phenomenal. So any last words, ladies, on either or, the orb, wormhole, portal, or the voice that came over on Zoom?
Well, the voice was incredible. I'd love to hear more. We have got a few recordings that we have recorded, and I've uploaded it to our, private group. And none of us, I don't believe, have gone through them to actually see if anything's come up. So, watch this space.
Yeah. Remember to check your footage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the words of wisdom. Remember to check your footage. Because when you think nothing's happened.
It was my suggestion. Putting that out there.
Exactly. So I want to thank you, ladies, for joining me again today with this discussion and sharing the experience. And again, go back and listen to episode 29. Preferably watch it on YouTube, because that's where the video is. And in our next episode, we've got more phenomena. We've got it coming out left, right, and centre. So on that note, we're going to love you and leave you, our viewers and listeners. And I will put Dawn and Julie's links in the comments below if you'd like to reach out to them. And please feel free to comment, like, share, and subscribe. But if you have an idea of what you believe that voice could be, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you. And until the next episode, we'll see you again on the Medium's Table. Thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks for joining me at the Medium's Table. The universe is always speaking. Listen and let your spirit soar. Curious for more? Click on one of the videos below and remember to subscribe.